game. Where are you, Comfrey? There you are, Comfrey. We're going to follow Comfrey through this one. If I can actually kick keys correctly. What's that one? No, is it that one? No, it's not that one. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. Cool. So, see how this replay works out. So start the game. I'm going to pause straight away. At the beginning of this one, why is that not wanting to work? Did I remove it? And I've got that on the wrong side. Right, we'll fix that first. Oh my god, all the effort you have to do to try and get things to work properly. Apply. There we go. Why does tab not want to work? This is really odd. Tab, please. Okay, tab. Fine. Be that way. Be that way, tab. I can't see item stuff, so I might have to just bring up this screen in a little bit, but we'll see. So, when we see the start of this game, I'm going to have to pause now because this is going to be annoying as anything. Too big. Don't need it too big. Move that way. Hide HUD element. Nah, we'll see the HUD element for now. I can remove it later on. So, start the game. We're going to just quickly check in. He's going to be up against a Vamana in lane, and Comfrey's going straight for Heavy Hammer. Now, Heavy Hammer is still a good item, guys, okay? Heavy Hammer is a great item. The only problem with it at the start of the game, sorry, at any stage of the game, is when to fricking buy this thing now. Because 1350 gold is not an expensive investment, but it's hard to fit it into an itemization of your build at the right sort of time. Now, picking up right at the start of the game, like Comfrey's done, is an opportunity. It does mean you don't have Hog for faster wave clear, but he's going to be against Baby anyway, and against Baby, you both have relatively the same farm. You're both warriors. You both have the same sort of clear in the early stages overall, and so going for it isn't too bad. He's also going to get blue buff because he's solo lane, so he doesn't have to worry about extra sustain in the lane. He's also going to have his rain dance, which will also give him some sustain if he does need it as well. So, picking up at the start of the game isn't the worst thing. And against Big Baby, having Heavy Hammer, they're both melee. If he gets an opportunity to slow Big Baby and cause a few issues, he can do. Now, this was a pick at the start of the game. Unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out for Passaic Boys, but for Regilis, it's like, hey, high five, everyone's happy. We all survive. We know where they are now. Okay, why does that not want to disappear at all now? Oh, it used to want to disappear. We'll just leave it like that, I guess.
Minions have spawned.
So he had 1350 gold and a Heavy Hammer, and then he bought 3 health potions. Doesn't need the mana? Why not? Auto attacks. Give him this passive, which gives him free abilities, which means he's not using mana. On top of that, he's getting blue buff as well. Now he helps with the mid camps as usual. Obviously, Repicast comes with him. They're looking for the early invade, especially onto somebody in this jungle, which is what they're looking for here. Doesn't have Hog available, but Repicast does. He steals away the blue. Nice aggression coming out from Repicast there on this side. And so they go to lane, and he's denied Proxy his blue buff. Now that was a good invade from the team overall. He didn't really have much apart from throwing his axe, but it was enough to help out his team. And he backed them up. Gets some free poke off, and the one thing that he's got an advantage of in this lane now, overall, is the fact that Proxy does require mana. That's one thing that mana really does struggle with, is mana pool. So he's going to have to be a lot more conservative with his mana. On top of that, Comfrey's still got his blue buff up as well, which means he's going to have that. Keep an eye on his ability scaling as well. You can see his ability scaling down here, his Torrent and his Thunderstrike and what he's picked up so far. But everything that you can do on Chuck, it does depend how you want to play out Chuck, because you can go different options. When I say different options, when you look at this, you could max your Torrent. It means that you have to get into the melee, the wave to clear it. But it does give you more protections as well, which can be good against someone like Vamana. On top of that, though, you could just throw out the Axe for decent damage as well. 320 at max rank plus 60%. This does 300 plus 70, so the damage drop is only 20 overall across, across the two, and they both AoE damage things. That gives protections as well for 4 seconds, so it could help him out. You don't really max the Torrent, but it does give a nice slow and some nice healing if you do max it. We'll see what Comfrey chooses to do in this lane matchup, because there's 2 options, it's the one or the 2 generally. It just depends how you want to play the lane or how much poke you take in it as well. Most of the pros probably won't agree with me and be like, yeah, just max 1, but you can max the 2 as well if you're feeling a bit concerned about how the lane's going to go. Notice how they're playing this lane very safe. They're against a Frey and a Vamana, and Frey and Vamana, their wave clears a little bit better at the moment than Serket and Chucks. The reason it's better is because Serket has to get into that minion wave to do anything. Now the thing with this invade here, this isn't a bad call coming out from the Potato Boys to steal that one away. Why Comfrey doesn't have Hog here, and when he turns around to do this, he gets himself in a lot of trouble, but to the rescue comes his teammate. He's going to go down trade 1-for-1. What's the good things and the bad things coming out of that fight? Bad thing, Comfrey dies. That's the bad news. The good news is blue buff was pretty much running out anyway. He'd already taken the blue from this side of the map anyway. So he'd already got the experience from his blue buff. So losing this one, it was a 1-for-1 trade technically over that one. His pretty prime does pick up a kill for it, so he trades 1-for-1. And that means the junglers had to go back to base and lost her speed buff, which is also a benefit to the team. So it's not the worst trade in the world for Comfrey. It could have gone better for him overall. They had to check the blue. But the call from Potato Boys was good there because they knew Comfrey didn't have his Hog. Without having a Hog, that was the opportunity. They had to go aggressive. So, back to base, picks up boots, has 1 health potion left, doesn't buy mana pots, doesn't buy any wards just yet. Saves the rest of the gold in the bank. Some people do buy additional pots and wards and stuff, but saves that 350, gets back to lane. Straight back in, and now he gets his 3 online as well. Notice how he put 2 points in his 1 before picking up the Rain Dance overall there. The Rain Dance might have helped him out a little bit in that invade, but overall it won't make a difference. He's going to max his axe first by the looks of it. So in the lane, now he's against Proxy, who's level 5. Comfrey's only level 4 because he lost a few minions to the tower as well as the invade. And now with Proxy having a blue and him not, Comfrey's going to be very careful with his positioning overall because he can get aggressed on. And you can see Proxy's trying to abuse that now. But Comfrey, very smart, just goes, alright, fine, you want to fight. I realise I can't really fight you. Just going to farm. And he picks up the majority of those minions. I think he only lost 1 to the tower there overall, which isn't too bad. Now he should have made a call there that Vamana's rotating. And this is an opportunity now for Comfrey to go aggressive in this lane, catch up on farm a little bit, and abuse this. He's going to give up mid camps overall because Proxy's rotated, but it does allow him to farm. Especially with low mana, he can clear this wave and look to base if he needs to, overall. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's got time for the next minion wave. Look at what we discussed again. Look where minions are right now. With where the minions are right now, he can look to go back to base because he's got a long time between the minions coming for the next wave. Only problem is, Proxy's aware of that and he tries to deny him recalling. Now the longer Comfrey takes to recall, the sooner his minions get there. And now he's going to make a call. Comfrey's decision has got to be made now. Am I going to try and recall again? No. Why not? Because Proxy will push me into town, I'll lose minions. So he has to say. So that call from Proxy was very good, but the counter call from Comfrey to stay is also smart, and that's what you should be looking to do as a solo laner. Back where you can to go and buy items to get your mana and health back. Unfortunately, that didn't connect overall. I don't think they probably would have got a kill onto Vamana there, just because of how low Comfrey's health was. What that was there was Repicast coming over more than anything else to support Comfrey to allow him to back and clear this wave so he can recall. That's generally what that gank was for. It wasn't for a kill gank. It was a, I'll help you sustain so you can go back to base gank. So it goes back one more time, working on his boots now. Not going to upgrade the heavy hammer, there's no reason to. It's cheap and efficient gold that you can actually upgrade for it. Like, it's good value for money. But at the same time is, you don't need it any further upgraded just yet. It already gives you, you know, 200 health, the physical power, and the slow. So you can upgrade it for the additional slow, but it's not necessarily worthwhile at this stage. So looking to farm up for the most part. Still maxing his axe, using the torrent as well. Throws a ward down defensively in his own half of the jungle. Now, doing it in your own half of jungle like Comfrey's just done, just make sure he doesn't get rotated on from the back from Isis pushing in raw or from Freya swinging round. He actually has 2 wards in his inventory, so wards both sides. Now, Comfrey is super safe in the lane now. He's like, okay, fine. You want to gank me? Come gank me, I've got 2 wards. Freya, you ain't getting kills over here, love. And realistically, in a matchup like Vamana versus Chuck, and like most of the solo lane matchups in honesty, there shouldn't be solo kills going on. There shouldn't be solo kills, it should come down to jungle pressure. So warding where Comfrey has done is the 2 entrances and exits that he could get ganked from, honestly. And if that, you know, if he does get ganked somehow, it's generally his own fault because he got walk over there anyway. Or his team letting them down in terms of where the gaps are left. So Comfrey just looking to farm a little bit more, and you can see Vamana putting the pressure on. This is a small thing that I'm going to show you. That this was really small, but it's just a detail that like it's nice to look over sometimes. With this trade going on here, he tries to clear the wave, doesn't do so. But when this happens here now, a lot of people would just back all the way back to tower. Okay? Notice how he doesn't back all the way into tower here. If he backs all the way into his tower, these archers will come in tower range. You've got the line on the map. You can see it every single game. As soon as they cross that threshold, the tower will start hitting them. When a tower hits them, you don't get gold. So what does Comfrey do here? He eats some free poke from the archers. That big one goes down, but all he's doing is tanking for the time being to buy time for his Thunderstrike to come off cooldown one more time. Then he throws out the axe, clears the wave, gets all the gold. Doesn't have to worry about competing with the tower to bring stuff down. There's a big fight on the other side of the map, but Comfrey's going to choose to do his blue here. It's a good opportunity to do it. He doesn't want to lose it, and he knows Vamana's rotating. He's got ward coverage there, so they know where Vamana is. And now with him being in mid, you can see he pushed it in and coming back. So Comfrey's like, fine, okay, I don't have to rotate because Vamana's coming back. See those pings? See those pings there right now? Those pings, I'm not sure where they're from, honestly. They could be from Proxy saying, yo, red buff's down, or this is up. Or Comfrey could be going, yo, red buff's up soon, and this camp, he could be taking it right now because of Vamana's in the jungle over this side. But now with him coming back through the ward, if that was Comfrey, he's like, okay, fine, he didn't do anything. You know, he's back in lane. But now Proxy should know the red buff is up after checking that one overall. By Proxy walking past it, so they need to take that red buff down soon. Were they Comfrey's pings? They were Comfrey's pings. So Comfrey admitted they were his pings, so he was letting them know red buff could be, you know, he could be at the red buff, could be at the back camp stealing them away. But once he saw the ward come down, they knew they were safe, so there was no real aggression for the time being. So, as you check, you can continue farming all day long. Tab still doesn't want to work in this game for some unknown reason, so I can't really check stats as well as I wanted. Look at what his opponent's built as well. He's got Runeforge Hammer and Tier 2 boots online. When he goes back here, he's got 1400 gold. He'll finish Warrior Tobby, which is 1150, and have a little bit left for some wards. There's some wards picked up as well. How lovely. So checking in with a baby, you know, the baby's gone for physical protection and health. He's already hard to kill anyway, like matchups, like I keep saying. It's very hard to die 1v1 in solo unless you make mistakes, is the only difference. The only thing in this lane right now is Proxy still has a small advantage in terms of experience. It's not a huge advantage, but some of that advantage comes down to the kill early on when Comfrey died at his own blue buff, and also that mid-camp rotation that Proxy did. You need to understand where you lose the experience. Is it because I'm not farming the wave enough? Is it because I'm losing too much when I'm recalling? And if that's the case, then you need to stay in lane a little bit longer and farm up a little bit better and make sure you get all these minions in lane. If it's not that, then you need to look at where else he's got the experience from and where you're going wrong. So at the moment, Comfrey lost the mid camps to Proxy, so Proxy got some farm there, and he also lost a bit of pressure when he got that kill. So he didn't get a kill, he got an assist, but that, I guess it's just mid camps overall and the extra pressure because of that, and the one minion wave he lost after the push on his buff. So, just a level behind, as you can see. If you notice there, Proxy dinged in level 11 at the same time Comfrey dinged level 10, so there's a whole level experience right now. Something happened there that I'm going to talk back over. It's only a small thing. But, pro teams will realise this, as will everyone else. Proxy's fighting. He's not scared to fight. It's Proxy. Proxy don't give a crap about fighting. But what happens is the moment Repicas steps on this ward, let's go up here. The moment Repicas steps on this ward, he immediately backs off. Now that's very unusual for Proxy not to take a fight, and everyone knows Proxy. Proxy likes to fight. Are we really going to do that? Can we go away, please? Thank you. So, if Proxy's backing away, that tells you straight away, Proxy has a ward there, clearly, and Replica should know it, Comfrey should know it. There's a ward cover in there. So if Comfrey wants to rotate to the mid lane now, if he takes that path, he knows Proxy gets vision of him, so keep an eye on that one. Learn that for yourselves as well, because now that Comfrey knows this, you also know this if you were checking the situation. If I rotate through here, there's a ward around here quite clearly because Repicas just stepped on it and immediately Proxy disengaged. So always think if you're going to rotate to mid camps now or the Gold Fury, do you want to rotate through that same place that Repicas just came through, or do you look to try and rotate through somewhere else? Now we saw Vamana back to base here. What he should be looking to do is push this wave in and leave lane pretty much himself. Go back and buy if he can buy anything. Or just refresh his mana if required. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Waste his 1, waste his 2, bring down the minions, which you need to farm, and immediately back. There's no reason to stick around. Are you going to kill... Let's have a look. Are you going to be able to kill this tower in one go? No, I am not going to be able to kill the tower in one go. Do I get vision of Freya being here? Yes. So what should I be doing here? Back to base. There's nothing else I can do on the map. Why not just go back, refresh, maybe pick up an item if I have the cash to. Luckily for him, he does, working on the Witchblade. And Witchblade's really good as well. What's this going to do? What's Witchblade going to do against this team? Look at his itemization here. He's against the Vamana. He's going to work against Vamana because he gives physical protection at the next rank. On top of that, Freya and Ul. Both these auto-attack based gods going to be really beneficial to have a Witchblade online. Gives him protections, gives him mobility, gives him attack speed, takes away attack speed. It's a really good item and it's cost efficient as well for what you get out of it. Also picked up a ward for himself as well. Notice how he stopped buying pots as well. Notice how both the solo lanes have stopped buying pots. This is one thing a lot of people do where they overbuy pots as the game goes on. You'll hear supports talk about when they do get to a point in the game of getting... When they do have Midas boots online, supports generally stop buying pots as well. So pots stop becoming a big issue for the team. He rotates to this. Vamana already rotated over. The lane's all stale. When he rotates here, the lane was stale. He knows it's going to freeze. Why is it going to freeze? Because minions are both exactly the same on either side. Both going to freeze in mid. They've both been clearing effectively. So the tight chance to rotate was there to help out his team. Got to pick up some free farm in mid. That'll help him out a little bit in terms of catching up, especially if Vamana doesn't get the Gold Fury. But now we're going to have a team fight breakout. And watch Comfrey's game plan here overall. Look what he looks to do overall in this fight. Athena's going to dunk him. He's going to dunk down. His ult was not the greatest in that situation there. It was a great Spirit Ball. And now he's trying to play front line. But he has to be careful of the Athena taunt coming out as well. Sorry, the Athena taunt is on his side. But Proxy reaggresses and he can't do anything. He's already wasted his ultimate. He's not going to be able to stop a big baby charging into him. They have to back away. Their engagement failed there. And what you have to do in situations where the engagement fails is cut your losses. So we'll go back and watch it one more time. So he's looking to come around the side and dunk down. The Gold Fury went down quicker than they expected more than anything else in this one. And then he uses a Spirit Ball to the face. That's a full disengage right there. Proxy does really good work with the 3. And Coffee immediately disengages. You can't go aggressive in this fight. Why can you not go aggressive in this fight? Let's check out the health pools and everybody else involved. Kanye's already low. Ataraxia ate a lot of poke as well. If Comfrey tries to come here to zone out the rest of the team, Big Baby's going to take a long time to die. We all know Big Baby's going to take a long time to die in this situation. And with Prime's mana bar, Kanye's life, Ataraxia's life, and Repicast the only one that can really deal damage in this fight because of his mana bar and his health, all Comfrey can do is zone 4 members. Is Comfrey going to survive against 4 members without ultimate? I doubt it! And at the stage of the game, 10 minutes in, you aren't as tanky as you may think you want to be, or believe you are. So, the disengage call happens overall, and they just take the casualties of war that happen. Please find Comfrey again. There we go. So on his way back to the solo island, he's going to quickly find... They're looking to pick him here, though, overall. But he's not worried. He doesn't panic. He doesn't overuse his abilities or anything like that. He just backs away. And luckily for them, Prime picks up a nice freebie kill in the mid lane to kind of even though they lost Gold Fury. So right now, checking in with his lane opponent as well. Level 13 to Comfrey's level 12. Can we move these yet? I don't think we can yet. No, okay. So he's still a level behind, but he's going to get some free tower pressure because Vamana's late back. Why can he go aggressive here? Well, he knew they were all mid. They knew they got Gold Fury. And on top of that, he's got a ward here, which he's giving him vision of when Vamana comes back into the lane. So, when Vamana comes back, watch him disengage. He probably won't stick around unless he feels he can take it in one go, which he can't. He knows Vamana's wave clear is going to be good enough. He gets a few tower shots. That's going to bring down the tower a little bit more. He backs away and goes to his blue buff immediately. Why is blue buff? Because there's nothing else for him to do. Solo lanes are just all about not playing stupid. That's generally how solo lane works out. Don't play stupid, get big and strong, use the solo lane to your advantage because you're getting lots of experience and gold, because no one really wants to come over here because you're not going to be easy to kill, because you're not fighting. So, you saw Vamana back to base, Comfrey clears the wave, he's got blue buff, he doesn't have to recall, also with his passive as well, going to be able to continue throwing the axes out, clearing the wave really effectively, while still regenerating mana. Top banana. Push this wave in, maybe look to back to base, he's got 1300 gold, could continue working on the Witchblade, Curse Blade rank 2 is really good as well, good cost efficient item, although backing in front of Vamana's face not the best idea as you can see, that's why he backs away back to his tower one more time. So, one more time, back to base, got the Curse Blade online. Talking about the Curse Blade, look at what it gives you already. This is a good rank 2 item that people overestimate, and you're starting to see some Freyas picking this up when they actually go in the duo lane as well and just leaving it at rank 2, like I'll finish it later. But gives protections, gives mobility, also gives attack speed. It's a nice item, especially for someone like Chaac as well, because like, the attack speed, it's not the biggest thing that, you know, Chaac needs, but by having the attack speed, it allows him to be able to get his passive up more often, which means he uses less mana when he's using his abilities, which means he's less reliant on the blue buff if it gets stolen. And also, if he gets to a late game team fight and he's out of mana, he can still swing auto attacks and get that passive up so he can still spam some abilities. Notice how they don't trade. Notice how they don't trade until the minions are dead, is what I want to say there. Look at that trade. It was like 2 hits each. Okay, we can't kill each other. That was cute. Nice to meet you too. Back to farming. Nothing's going to happen. Now a big invade comes out from his team in this situation. He's late to it, but he knew it was coming. He was trying to wait for his team to get in there first. He wasn't going to dive in there first 3v1. He wanted his ultimate to come out from Athena. Turns up to this fight, gets the axe, does get knocked up, which buys him some time, but this is a dead adapting. And that's a quick turnaround. He's almost down. Eats a Spirit Ball. Just going to back away now. Notice how he just backs. He's not going to be able to get anything outside of that fight. He can try and look at Proxy if he wants to with his team, but he's very low on HP. He takes a lot of poke. What could have happened there from Comfrey's point of view? Let's go back and see if I can find him one more time. Go back a bit further before you die, please. So, he gets them knocked up, but that's adapting dead because of it. So adapting going to go down here. He turns around, eats a Spirit Ball. Now he takes a tower shot as well, which hurts. And also, he's not got magical resistance here, which is another issue. Which is, one of the issues that you're going to have coming up against mages when you don't have magic resist just yet. He chooses to go towards Proxy because his teammates are on this side as well. He had a call at this point here. When he was stood here, he had a call. Do I go this way? Do I go this way? Do I bring Aero away from my team? Do I bring Aero towards my team? What is the call that I have to make? Now, Comfrey chooses to go towards his team for the protection that he's got from them. But the problem is that he's also going to walk into a Vamana. And Vamana, still tanky. He's not going to be too scared of having a little bit of a fight. And on top of that, it's Proxy. Proxy will fight anything. So, not a surprise to see this goes on. You notice where the axe went as well? He would have died, just so you know. Just so you know, Comfrey was dead here either way. He tried to be cute, throw the axe over the wall and then jump to it. But what was going to happen was, he would have aggroed the Fire Giant would have killed him. I'll guarantee that now. He was still dead in every situation there. Option he could have done, possibly gone this way. But generally, if you're going to go out, try and run to your team. Like, that's what Comfrey tried to do. He tried to run to his team, hoped his team could help him out. Prime could throw out a heal, maybe. You could also maybe have got some help elsewhere. Repigas could have thrown out the Cobra's Kiss and got the stun off. That's what he was kind of hoping for. But like Comfrey just confirmed in chat, he could have gone right and survived. I don't like calling out misplays from them. I'd like to say what their options were, because that's not my job. I'm not a pro player. I just want to talk about what they do right. So, Comfrey thinks he should have gone right. I do think he should have gone right, but he chose to go left. And I can understand what his mentality was of why he went left overall. And you guys need to understand that too. So, notice he's gone back to base, finished Witchblade, got Sprint 3 online now. Sprint 3 is going to help him out as well. Be able to chase targets down, because what does Sprint 3 allow? Well, it allows you to keep throwing out your auto attacks and not getting a movement penalty. Bonus! Bonus, especially on someone like Chaac. Just swing that axe in people's faces. On top of that, with the movement speed as well, he's getting from Witchblade. Ah, pretty nice. Now, Solo Island is pretty dull. If you play Solo Island, you're generally just looking for the late game and be a beast. That's what you see from the likes of Xaylia, as well as every other solo laner in the world, Game Hunter, all the likes of it, Proxy and Comfrey as well. Now that love tap there from Proxy was a tester. If you notice, that love tap from Proxy was generally a tester to see exactly what kind of situation Comfrey was in terms of health. On top of that, by just poking him, shows that he would have gone aggressive. Meanwhile, notice how he's rotating to mid here. Why is he rotating to mid? Can he fight Freya and Vamana? No. Why can't he fight Freya? Well, Freya's magical. Freya's magical, and he just met Aero and didn't have a nice time with that one. So he's like, well, Freya's in lane, they're not going to be able to burst it down that quickly. On top of that, Gold Fury is up, so they choose to go for Gold Fury at the same time as they look to pressure the tier 1 tower. This is a good call coming out from Agilitas to try and aggress onto this one. Once again, we're looking here at who's on what duty in team fights, okay? Now, solo laners, generally, if you're a tanky warrior, you're on frontline duty of zoning. They're looking to zone out. Silence to make sure he can't get the hog off. while they try and burst down Agilitas. Sorry, burst down Durgus. Notice how he used his ultimate there. We'll go back and watch it one more time because that was really nice. Oh, why did that happen? I'm so annoyed. I keep misclicking. Back to Comfrey, please. Rewind, rewind. We'll slow this down. So he comes in and immediately silence. The freeze was good from Dirge, but that silence stops Durgus from hogging, which is all he wants to do after that freeze is hog. The snipe comes out as well, which was really nice to put the pressure on Durgus from the backside. So Durgus gets focused down, but the Gold Fury goes down because Durgus can't do anything during that silence. And that's why it was so good. His whole job in this fight was to make sure they get the Gold Fury, and then they look for the disengage. Unless they can get more. Kanye gets a good 2-man taunt off, but can they follow up is the question. Are they in the position to fight? Well, Comfrey's looking around now to choose what he's going to do. The call comes out clearly, disengage, disengage, disengage. We got what we wanted. And now it's the time for Potato Boys to try and go aggressive and make something good happen from this. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, I think. Does Kanye die? I think he does. I think he does. He's going to go down. We're doing it in slow-mo just so you can see what the mentality is. Even though they're disengaging, they group disengaged. They don't all run off in different directions. You don't have someone rotate back to mid lane over here to start farming. You don't have the hunter heading back to his lane to continue farming. They stay grouped. They stay grouped in case they can help each other out in a bad fight, which is still going on. Can they get something back off this? Well, Potato Boy's still going aggressive, and they realise it's a 4v4 as their support's down as well. And that sustain coming out from Ra's going to buy him time. What happens with the call now? Are we going to go aggressive? No. They stay grouped, they hang around too long, honestly, because they choose not to re-engage. They're trying to help each other out, and sometimes in team fights this can cause them more than worse. But the mistake gets made from Suntouch here, and that's when they capitalise on it. They look to try and pick up Suntouch. This is all about helping out your team. So it turns into a 2-for-1, where the Hunter goes down, the Gold Fury goes in their favour, and they come out on top because the Tier 1 tower is only just going to fall on the right side. Look at the gold right now. It's 3.6 to 3.8, so Potato Boy's still in the lead, but that tower will give the Potato Boys the advantage still. But now they look to re-aggress. The only problem is they've not seen their big babies hunting. Their big babies hunting. We can speed this back up again, hopefully, if things would have worked properly. There we go. Now, how that grouping worked out there, if you look at that whole fight overall, what happened in that fight? They got the Gold Fury, Comfrey focused on dealing with the threat of the Ymir. The silence was what made it so good. If you look at the silence, just so you understand why that was so good, 3 seconds is a very long time in a Gold Fury fight when the Gold Fury was that low. That full 3-second burst onto Ymir made sure he couldn't get the Gold Fury. When they grouped up here, they did lose a casualty of war for it, but they were allowed to turn their attention onto a target that overcommitted to a fight, which was Suntouch in this case. And then, with Suntouch going down, they had the opportunity to continue the aggression onto the rest of the lineup, and they pick up more kills from it. Proxy was late to the fight overall, but now this is the situation where the split happens because they think it's over. I don't know if Proxy does get something out of this. I think he will do to make it 2-for-1. I think he should. No, he's not got the mana for it. So luckily it pays off for them again. And with Witchblade online as well, as an Athena coming back in. Oh, Comfrey! Oh, Comfrey. Oh, Comfrey. If anyone doesn't understand why I'm saying oh, Comfrey, let's have a little look at this. Teleport back away from the target. Yeah, one more time. In slow motion. I'm gonna kill myself a proxy. La 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 la. Kill myself a proxy. No, I'm not. I'm chilling in my jungle. Chilling in my jungle. Oh well, I'll just give the I'll just farm these minions. Guys, I was gonna farm these minions anyway. That's what the plan was. I knew you'd get the kill. I just wanted to farm. That's what was going on there. Honest to God, Governor, that was the case. So with that happening there, Comfrey's now looking, what can I do next? Well, my tower's down on this side. Do I need to base? I've got 1,400 gold. What can I pick up? Well, I could look at getting Emerald Talisman. I don't remember his item build. I'm not going to cheat by looking at it. I could look at getting some magic resistance, especially, you know, when I'm having a few issues with Freya. And there's going to be Isis as well. Could look at magic resistance here if I want to. Got to take the back Harpies, then look at his blue buff, then probably look to farm as well. While I'm in slow mode still, we can speed this back up. Notice how I point out as well that Comfrey messed up there. I want to make it clear that even though the pro players, these guys are really, really good, they make the same mistakes we do. Okay? So, they still have things to correct in their gameplay as well. Even if it's a small thing like teleporting back to an axe when, you know, he was dead anyway, but still, it could have been all different if he escaped. But everyone has stuff to improve on all the time.
Your right tower is under attack.
So Comfrey's looking at Chins next. Which tells me Comfrey's not too worried about the amount of damage coming out from Aero and Freya just yet. He also wants to deal a lot more on the front line, which will increase him. Like, Chins is really good, especially against a Vamana and a Ymir as well, because it does do percentage of health, which is one thing that's very difficult to try and bring down a very tanky Proxy. Even though Proxy's got a lot of resistances, he will still be able to do decent damage just because he's doing percentage of health during his basic attacks. Look at his attack speed as well right now. He's going to be a chopping axe murderer right now. There's a big fight at the right camps here. Vamana's already rotated. He's not got a ward for vision of this one, but he should know Proxy's already on his way. That wasn't the greatest fight overall for Agilitas to try and take in that situation. Chuck wasn't there. And now Comfrey's got to play safe in this lane now because he's not really got much vision over here. Does he really want to waste a sentry on the side? Not much. So he's got to just play safe for the time being. They're looking to aggress mid. And now Comfrey immediately realises the aggression's coming out. Tries to rotate there. Nice slow coming out from Proxy. But now he gets turned on. Look at that sprint pop immediately. He's like, nope, don't want any part of this. I'm out. Peace. Immediately uses the sprint. Not scared to use it. It's only a 60-second cooldown. And now he realises they're all grouping in the mid lane now. He can't fight in this situation, honestly. It's a 4v5. He's not got Ataraxia there who's split pushing left. He's going to farm right. Try and take this tier 1 tower down, even up this lane, even though tier 2 drops in mid. He will get tier 1 this side though, but he really needs to look to base as soon as possible in case they go for some more aggression. But when he makes this play now, he realises tier 2 is going to go down. He realises they can't fight. So what does he do? He looks to the split push and get some gold for his team. What else? What other objectives are possible on the map for Potato Boys to take other than that tier 2? Well, they can try and aggress in the Phoenix, but it's going to be a difficult ask, especially against the Ra who's just respawned. Ataraxia has just come back from base as well, and they've got Athena to 3-man, 5-man taunt them into the tower. So he's got time to free farm here, because the only objective on the map is the Fire Giant right now, and with it warded up as well as it is by Agilitas, it's safe enough for him to split push here, get some global gold for his team, keep the pressure on. Doesn't stick around too long either. Starts to rotate back to his team. Meets Proxy in the jungle. Now he's going to see the blue buffs online as well. Look at that chopping damage that he's doing to Proxy. Proxy's not got much mana either. That's why he's able to do it. And with him realising Proxy was so low on mana, the call comes out for Gold Fury. Sorry, for Fire Giant. And Comfrey goes to zoning duty. The only problem is he's not got much magical resistance. So he gets poked quite a lot by Freya. The ult was defensive more than anything else. Agilitas has to get the Fire Giant, but then the call for disengage comes out. He's used his curse, he's also used his sprint. He's going to juke away from his axe and make a call from Potato Boys going, okay, which way are you going to go? He immediately jumps back to it just to get the distance he needs, back to his team one more time. Notice how they stick together. All the times teams disengage together if they can. Replikas got out over the side, he's going to be okay there, but the rest of the team stuck together. They've got Fire Giant online. The whole plan here is to just live in this engagement. And once again, we're going to get into this fight that's going to happen where it's all about what Agilitas choose to do. Agilitas choose to group, stay together, and wait patiently. They wait for a mistake from the Potato Boys during this. They've got Fire Giants, so they're regenning anyway. They just got to be careful how much poke they take. They've got a free Fire Giant technically right now. If they lose a casualty of war, it's not the worst thing in the world, and Kanye's probably going to go down in this one straight away. Comfrey can't do much here. Look at his cooldowns. Just to be clear, sometimes when people die, you're like, why didn't you help me, Chak? Well, Chak's got nothing. He's got literally everything's on cooldown. So he's like, well, goodbye, Kanye. There's nothing I can do to help you. But now my axe is back up, I'll throw it out again. Let's see it coming. There you go. Gets a nice 5-man axe. Nice bit of poke damage onto all of them. Can we speed this up a bit more? Yeah, I think we can. So now, Potato Boys trying to make a bit of a turnaround. This is 4v5. They're against a Fire Giant team. They want the tier 2 tower on the right hand side. They're just going to tank this one up. And Comfrey's still in the front line. Look at where he is, his position. He's got no cooldowns, but just the threat of him being there is enough to disengage it, especially knowing he's got 3 members of his team still behind him. And now, where his Potato Boys trying to disengage, that's where they look to chase out. Agilitas played this very safe overall. They got a Fire Giant, retreated to tower. Made a small mistake with Kanye dying, honestly. But then now they look for the aggression. They're not going to let him base for free. Look at him. You ain't basing for free. We want to kill. Durgis does escape the Cobra. Now the turnaround happens though. Comfrey takes a lot of poke from magical damage there. And that's one thing to note in that fight. He was front line. He was front line in that fight. and he does go down to the magical damage. He's not got any magical resistance, as we discussed earlier. The Witchblade will help against Freya, and I would say it will help against Freya, but at the same time, it's still going to do damage when Freya hits you. But we'll watch the rest of the fight out as well to see what happens. If you notice, Ataraxia just got a kill for one trade there right now, and now with the rest of the team and Athena turning up, this taunt's going to be played big because Aero's going to be in trouble as well. So even though Comfrey goes down, just being the front line for his team helped out his team to continue the push overall. The call from the team was aggress. Sometimes you're going to die to try and help out your team. So he goes back to base. You know, Comfrey's dead, but his team are going to get a free tier 2 tower, which helps them out in terms of the goal flow, which they're still behind at the moment. All full credit to Potato Boys in terms of their objective taking, apart from the Fire Giant, which didn't work out great for them. But they're going to get a tier 2 tower on this side. Why am I slowing this down now? The fight's disengaged. We'll check in with Comfrey one more time when he respawns, hopefully sometime soon. There we go. Chak is back online. Back with Chak one more time. Whoa, what happened? Back we go. Missed a whole fight. Hindi, you're so bad at this thing. Back we go. He's not spawned yet. Now we can go this way. So, Fire Giant's online and Gold Fury's coming up. We're just waiting for Chak to spawn. There he is. And we're back with him. So Fire Giant comes online. They've got Fire Giant online, sorry. They take tier 2 tower on the right side, immediately all recall to base. They realise they can't aggress onto the Phoenix because everyone would have gone back to base and bought. Immediately, Potato Boys go for the Gold Fury. Great call from the Potato Boys as well, but great call from Agilitas at the same time. They realise that's what they're going to look to do. So immediately, Agilitas starts trying to head over there. They do take speed on the way. Speed's a great buff to pick up as well. And with the whole team not being there, without their support being there and Comfrey, the front line's kind of weak right now. They do turn up to the fight, and let's see how this one plays out. So, the freeze comes out from Durgis in that fight. Comfrey's turning up to this fight. He's looking to be the front line. Still not finished any items off. He's only got 1600. He's saving for that chins, as we know he was going to be working on that anyway. So he's 1500 gold short. The double whoop onto his team. He's got to think about what he's looking to do. The guys are looking to try and reset the Gold Fury if possible, force them away from it. And that's exactly what happens. Comfrey's presence, Ataraxia goes a bit deep here overall. His team's not with him yet, but he's hoping his team support him when he goes aggressive onto Sun Touch. Good double taunt. Comfrey leaves the fight 1v1. He doesn't get involved in the Hunter fight. He focuses onto Adapting, who's dealing a lot of damage. That's the focus in this fight. Can we bring down Adapting or force him to use his ult? Weakening Curse goes off as well. Not fully upgraded one, but he's just looking to chunk here overall. Just speed it up a little bit. So he forced out the ult there. That's exactly what he was looking for. Realistically, that's all he's looking for. He's looking to zone as well. He realises, though, now with that ult being on cooldown, he can do a lot of damage if he wants to. Turns back around to support his team because Aero gets caught. Overall, Snipe comes out over the back from Prime. Now Durgis is his focus.
Step aside.
The big things to note in this, look at Comfrey's decision making. Okay? That was presence. In that little bit there, it was presence to force the reset. The team reset. Then he looks for Adapting. He's a target that needs to be focused on. Why? Durgis isn't really a threat, he's just a Ymir. At the same time, Ataraxia is winning the battle with Sun Touch. He trusts in his teammate to bring down Sun Touch, so he focuses on the next target, which is Adapting in this situation. He forces out the ult on Adapting on this one. So that curse and the poke, he's forcing it out. They try and burst Comfrey down, but Comfrey, you know, he's still got Rain Dance on as well. Is it Rain Dance? I want to make sure I've got the name right. Yeah. Then he zones him out with the ultimate as well. So that's 3 seconds. But immediately, he could have got aggressive for kills here. Comfrey could have gone aggressive for kills. He could have tried to keep fighting Adapting. Adapting wasn't really going to be able to get away from him that easy now. He would have had Whoop eventually, but it wouldn't have been that easy. But he zoned him out, and he's also silenced him for 3 seconds. But what he does is he immediately turns back to his team. He's not looking to be a killer. He's looking to be a team player. And that's what you need when these games a lot of the time. He turns out to help out Aero, and in doing so, he's going to get an assist for that, and now he's going to be able to focus onto Durgis, help bring him down as well. And this team play is what actually wins in the fight more than anything else. Comfrey could have gone aggressive on Adapting, but they forced out most of the damage from him. They forced that out, and now the Gold Fury is going to be free for them. So you'll see them rotate back to that one as well. Or will they? They'll push a tier 2 tower mid instead. They can go back to Gold Fury afterwards, and with so many members being dead, this is a good call from them, honestly, to go and do that. So heading back to the mid lane, gonna look to bring down the Phoenix overall. They should be able to do it. There's only 2 members. Big Baby's down. Adapting's ultimate's on cooldown. They're not scared of these two. And with Comfrey being, you know, semi-tanky, have Rain Dance online, they can tank this up with the raw heals as well. Good 2-man talk around from Kanye. Notice his focus as well. Notice his focus for the most part. He was still hitting tower for the most part there. So he needs to go on the backside. Tanking up for his team still. Could go down overall. We'll slow this down now. This fight still breaks up. They really want this tower. They really want this Phoenix. That's why they're sticking around. They want to make all that effort they just put into trying to do it worthwhile. But can they do it is the question, because the whole team of Potato Boys have respawned. They do have sustain from Ra, but they have to watch the positioning overall. Notice how they're grouped up. The Durgis has just used his freeze, so they know that's on cooldown for now. The heal goes down on top of them, not in tower range. They're looking to use the heals. Proxy comes on the front line. Comfrey's very low here, and he's on cooldown a lot. He's trying to stick with his team, get some sustain out and group with them, force him into a bad fight. The fight's not great from Magilitas here, in honesty, but they try and stick as a team and continue the pressure going on. Comfrey can't do anything, no cooldowns. Now he's caught his cooldowns back up again. Speed it up a little bit. Bad fight from Magilitas, good defense from Potato Boys. They wanted more from this, but they do make it good because it's actually just getting the back line. It's 2 for 1 right now. As Sun touches the focus target. Notice his focus target from Comfrey. A little bit, just for a few seconds. Speed it up. Notice the focus target when Comfrey does have an opportunity. Arrow, low, he went for him. Who's my next target? Sun Touch is my next target. Am I going to go for Proxy? No. Am I going to go for Durgis? No. I'm going to go for Sun Touch. He's a damage dealer. He's a threat. I'm going to try and zone him out. My Witchblade is going to help me out do this. Sun Touch also leaped, so they knew they could go aggressive onto him. Then he looks for the next target in Durgis, and they leave Proxy alone. They're like, well, okay, Proxy, you're a tank. We're not going to bring you down. It did work out worthwhile for them. Initially, though, in the engagement, Potato Boys just overextended in the fight. In honesty, they did a good re-engagement. They could have defended if they would have just sieged at the tower. I don't think Agilitas could have done anything about that. So, realistically, Agilitas played it well, but Potato Boys could have played it better as well. That's the best way I'm going to look at that one. It worked out well for them, and Comfrey's playing that. That's generally what we're looking at, really. We're not trying to discuss the teams and how well they played it. It's more to do with how Comfrey plays in the solo lane and what he's looking to do. Now, that was a lazy back. He did have a teammate with him. He's probably going to go down for it. I think he does. I think he does. I think he does. Chop, 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 Sui, says Proxy QQ. I think he pays for it overall. Does Proxy? Oh, no, maybe he'll escape. No, he'll go down because Kanye's there. But that was a lazy back from Comfrey. He was trying to get back to base as quick as possible. Now, lazy backs, we call them lazy backs. We call them lazy backs. But when lazy backs happen, it's generally, they're not being lazy. They're trying to recall as quick as possible because they want to get back to base and get back online to be able to get back to the fight. So you want to recall as soon as you can. But sometimes, if teams realise this, they get caught. And we call them lazy backs, but they don't always call it. So, back into the game one more time. I'm just going to wait around for him to respawn, and we'll talk a little bit more about Comfrey. Notice how he's now going for the Hide of the Urchin by the looks of it. Get a little bit tankier. Does give him some more protections as well. I've missed everything in that. I'm sorry. Too busy talking. Not busy enough watching the fight. Now, on the map right now, you can see a fight's going on from his team. They're looking to aggress because Fire Giant's back up right now. This is the call from Agilitas. Comfrey. Look at him. He's got Chins online. Working on Hide of the Urchin is his next item. May not be able to complete it in time, but it's going to give him a little bit more protection in these fights. A little bit of magic protection. A little bit more health. And looking to group up with his team. Notice how he goes straight to the front line. Look at his targets right now. He realised the Aegis came out. He went for Sun Touch was the focus. Good banish coming out. Turns round, focuses arrow. Doesn't chase kills. Comfrey doesn't chase after kills. He goes back to his team every time. Looks to support them with his frontline ability. And especially with the damage he's got with Chins, because he's a damage dealer in the team composition. They're relying on him as well. Don't mind chasing onto Proxy here. Got Chins online. Sticks with his team, picks off targets. This is shot calling in a team. This is shot calling in a team generally coming out. Because when someone goes in, they'll be like, arrow, 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 arrow. Arrow goes down. Proxy, 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 proxy. Proxy goes down. That's how you generally do the calls in a team fight. You'll hear them screaming at each other. Well, you won't because you don't hear the comms. But that's how comms generally go. One person will make the calls on who to go on. The rest of the team focus it. It's called focused fire, and it works out really well. With that being said now, 25 to 15. They don't need the Fire Giant. They could just look to end. They know Middle Phoenix is coming back up as well. They've got a load of fire minions here. Only adapting left. They can look to end. Notice with that one, notice Comfrey's game plan throughout the whole game. overall. He didn't go aggressive whenever he could. He looked to go aggression in his lane when there was an opportunity, which there wasn't really. He just played safe and farmed. Got himself big, got himself a lot of damage, and during the fights he picked the right targets. He doesn't chase for kills. Too many people chase for kills in a lot of these situations in the games, where if you chase, you end up dying because you sacrifice yourself and you might not even kill the target. But if you do kill the target, you're probably in a bad situation and you don't know what's going on in your back line, especially from the solo lane. When you're someone like Chakov and Mana, there's also the situation if you play someone like Ra, you want to be with your team for the sustain, and on top of that you can also, you know, still speed up and do decent damage with your Celestial Beam. You've got range in your kit, so even with Ra, you should be looking to do stuff like that as well. Stick with your team as a solo laner and help pick people apart. Chasing after kills may make your, you know, your actual score at the end look really good. 4, 4 and 14 don't look that great in honesty. 4 and 4, no one looks at assists, but they should do. No one looks at the assists when you look at these results. You see 4, 4 and 14, you think, Chuck had an okay game. Comfy played pretty well that game if you look at it. Ataraxi got all the kills and he'll be the one, you know, everyone's like, yo, Ataraxi's a beast! But he's not really. And that's exactly how it was. Sub hype, by the way. Thank you so much for the subscription, really appreciate it. Mafu, back to the land of the Hindushes. But yeah, I mean, look at how it played out overall. He doesn't look like he was the big frontline man. He did the job that he needed to do for his team.